Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 cast between two very special players, Shin and ByuN. Now, this game is really interesting to me, in my opinion, because, well, we can already see this SCV coming all the way across the map to a very interesting position, but this match isn't just any match, it's a match for the finals in this small PiGosaur tournament. Happened a couple of weeks ago. Shin actually taking out Clem in the last best of 3. Shin clearly showing us some very amazing strategies. And actually, this proxy Rax is already being scouted by this Overlord. This is definitely a devastating start for ByuN. You can already see it right there, a little bit frustrated. Drones already on the way to try and cause as much damage as possible. The perfect reaction time to this entire event, actually not even being able to continue to build the barracks currently. Shin, seems like that's it. ByuN not being able to hold on. GG. Shin taking a quick first game. And here we are in Persephone, game 2 in this best of 5. Shin taking that early victory in that last game. But there are more to come. Now, something I don't want to skimp out on is telling you guys about what ByuN kind of went through to get to here. ByuN took out Max Packs in the last match. So ByuN is definitely showing up in his own way. And actually, looking at this, 6 Lings on the way. This is a bit early for a little bit of a Ling flood. So maybe Shin's got some ideas floating around in his head. And I think that's exactly what we've been seeing in these last games. Shin versus Clem. Sadly, can't cast that game. But what I noticed from observing some of it, kind of finding out some of the information around that, looking into it a little bit, is that it was mostly roach rushes, apparently. And so Shin definitely showing it's got a lot of unique strategies, and that's why I'm actually so excited to see this, is because I think that, Zerg vs Terran was always my worst matchup, so anytime I see anyone doing anything very interesting like this, and taking down the best players in the world, I want to know exactly what they're doing. And here we go, this little Marine running for his desperate life. SCV is already being pulled to deal with just this small amount of Lings. Definitely causing some issues here. Charting down the supply depot. Lots of mining time being lost on these SCVs. Nice micro on that SCV saving him, but losing another one, and losing the other one, and losing another one. That's 3 SCVs going down. Getting, in my opinion, maximum value. More value than you'd ever really expect to get from 4 or 6 little Lings. So, wonderful little strategy there. ByuN not quite prepared for that. But we do have a starport on the way, and I feel like we're probably going to see this switched off, and we're going to see nope, we're seeing whatever these guys are called, cyclones. I haven't seen cyclones in a while, so I'm kind of excited for that, because cyclones can go into mech, or they can just be annoying as heck, and they can shoot up, which is just very fun. And they're so fast, little cars. Already up to 3 bases, taking 2 gas. Actually, a gasless starter here for our Zerg player. Now finally getting on those 2 gas and starting a Roach Warren. And an Evo. Run, Overlord, run! No. Not getting the scout on the little cyclone. Reactor producing on these Hellions, and a Banshee is coming out. So it turns out I'm actually right, even though I'm wrong. Even when I'm wrong, I'm still right. Let's see. Economy looking quite good for Shin. I mean, that's that little bit of damage that he did. He somehow pulled out. Somehow, while doing gasless, managed to do damage, which is kind of very surprising. 2 little drones here, caught off guard, but also because he, catching both of them and taking them out. So because he was going gasless, he not only was able to do all that extra damage just because ByuN wasn't prepared for it, but he's getting this nice economic lead because gasless just allows you to drone so much more heavily. Because you're not wasting any time mining stinky, gas. Here's a little force coming across here, and it's quite formidable. Medevac, some Hellions. Looks like we will be seeing mech. And roaches, honestly, are perfect for that. Now, I don't know how much we're going to commit to mech, or if this is just going to be this kind of attack here, but this is definitely going to be a little bit formidable. Definitely don't want to be in the position of having over-droned when you're facing any of these kind of pushes. It's very easy to just get slightly overwhelmed and then lose an entire mineral line. Drones being pulled back, but seeming like we got a full surround on all these guys, maybe a little bit over-aggressive here. Quite deep of a push. Drones trying to escape. Looks like this entire army going down. Shin, even though he over-droned, completely capable of cleaning this entire attack up, securing that impressive lead. Oh, and then already here to block those Hellions off so that they can't get in there. Perfect timing. Still being a nuisance, but not quite enough of a nuisance. Cyclone going down. Shin maybe seeming like a little bit of the master of Zerg versus Terran, and now prepared for a counterattack. Sadly, roaches can't shoot up. Banshee gonna be poking away. Two of them actually, and this Banshee quite low. Wow, it's got 1 HP. Roaches decided to go home. We see some interesting upgrades. I have no idea what these are because I don't play Terran, but that's probably like air something or something. Couldn't tell you. Look how many Banshees are being produced. That's crazy. And that's like a Banshee upgrade or something? Couldn't tell you. Definitely, it seems like settling into this and deciding to commit more and more to this kind of mech strategy. So many Hellions. You love to see it. I wonder if we'll eventually see Thors. That would be fun. It's always fun. It's always a good day when you see Thors. Third base, almost finished up here. Gonna be going down and landing on this lower ground here anytime soon. And fourth base, already done for Shin. Another push out. Loads of Hellions. Hyperflight runners. Yeah, that's gotta be like a... Oh, that's speed for those Banshee guys. Yep. One day seeing Blue Flame on these guys. Oh, and they're totally committing. But Blue Flame would be so cool. And they're running all the way past. But there's even Queens over here. And Banshees. Wow. An impressive attack. But so far, only killing 2 Queens. Gonna have to do some more damage. Even more Queens going down. All those Hellions cornered over there behind the mineral line. Dying. Multiple Queens going down. 5 drones going down. Some interesting damage, but definitely not quite exactly what you're expecting. Shin. Kind of already prepared for this. Mutalisk on the way to clear these guys up. Maybe just in the nick of time, but this base is going to go down regardless. Roaches also still all the way heading across the map. Prepared to secure this lead with true damage. But battle cruisers on the way. We're getting real spicy. But is there going to be enough of them? There's already so many Mutalisk SCVs going down in the third base. Shin doing massive damage. Mineral lines out here in the main base of the Terran are already starting to mine out. Here we go. Battle cruiser operational. One of those guys, I don't feel like... Can he? Yes, he can. Sweet. I wonder if we'll see any corruptors. I feel like the economy is so heavy here. Yeah, I've seen some corruptors. The economy is so heavy here. Being stuck on 2 bases is just extremely sad. As cool as battlecruisers are, they definitely... It requires a lot of resources to build them, and it'll be hard to build enough of them or any... Whoa, 18 drones going down? What happened? Ah. Let's go back. Here we go. Was it just these 2 guys? Already killing 3? 4? Drones pulling away, and the drones don't know where to go. They're just being massacred. There's no detection here. Oh my lord. No detection, and these guys are just going ham. Just 2 Banshees. This is every single one of my games against Terran. Right now, ByuN taking maximum effect out of those 2 little units. Doing wonderful work. 18 drones going down. Look at all these guys just crowded in. All these little SCVs just crowded in. Oh, and even what's going on over here? These guys are just, they don't feel like working anymore. They have a union. Maybe we'll get some more damage. Coming in here, we got Hellions over here on the drones. At the same time, Mutalisks over here in the Terran base, but being repelled by the battlecruisers. So many drones going down. 12 more going down. Yeah, definitely not going down without a fight. Deciding that his main strategy is going to be just running in repeatedly until Shin can't stop it or doesn't react in time and ends up losing loads of drones. 2 base versus 4 base. 4 battlecruisers now. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe you can build enough battlecruisers. Wow, all the SCVs repairing this. Keeping it up. Not enough Mutalisks to really take that down. Even more corruptors on the way. Eventually, there will be enough corruptors. And eventually, these 2 little bases are going to be all mined out. I think I'm definitely in the favor of Shin, regardless of all those SCV losses. And let's not forget that Shin is definitely doing some damage of his own. Now, I would say that these battlecruisers would be a little bit surprised when they get across the map, but they can teleport home if they get into trouble. So, here we go, corruptors showing themselves, but you kind of expected it. But even an SCV here, showing up, maybe to try and help out, but no, not going to be able to do it. GG. That's another game for Shin. Now that was an exciting one. And here we find ourselves on Last Fantasy in Game 3 of this Best of 5 series between ByuN and Shin. So, that last game, a little bit crazy, a lot of chatting going on down here. Not sure what they're saying, but I did want to talk about this map. I'm actually super excited to see this map pool. Wow, they're really chatting a lot down there. But this map is always really fun because, these kind of maps, because you've got these bases, so you can spawn in a random location. And so Zerg has to send their Overlord in a random direction, which just makes it a little bit fun. I know I'm Zerg, and maybe that's a little bad for Zerg, but I think it's always fun to see the Overlords and having to play a little bit of that game, because it also means that if the Terran's going to do some kind of rush, and I think that's exactly what we saw in the game that ByuN played previously versus Max Pax to get to this grand final match, right? He had to, apparently there was some rush where he just guessed the position and tried to do a proxy racks or something like that, and guessed wrong and lost. But he was saying that if he had guessed right, he would have automatically won. And that's what they were actually talking about in the last game, some of the observers. And so here we go, we see the second Overlord over there, flying all the way across, trying to figure out, well, they already know exactly where he's at now by process of elimination. And this Reaper showing up, starting to do some damage. Things already here, though. Just in the nick of time to repel this guy. This micro is always a little bit hectic and difficult to deal with. Definitely, if you ever end up on the wrong side of a pro and they hit you with these Reapers, it seems like it's just, kind of guaranteed, but the Lings, they're really slow. And the Queens, you can wear them down, right? These Reapers, they heal pretty quick. So, and we're definitely seeing a lot of these Reapers showing up, targeting a Queen, but losing a Reaper. A little bit of a missed micro there. Sad. Oh, and they're talking about it. ByuN's sad. I feel that. So many Reapers. Just so many. Continuing to produce them. more and more queens. You're going to need loads of them. And eventually, speed will be done eventually, but only about halfway done. ByuN hoping to get some damage done. Definitely investing a lot into these Reapers very early. Definitely an exciting strategy. Can do so much. Killing that queen already causing a huge issue. And having to pull the drones off. Just keeping the Zerg a little bit constrained in their economy. Every single second that you keep them off of the mineral line, a little bit more of a lead that you can gain, that you can then leverage later. Stim on the way, and further upgrades will be on the way very soon, but kind of coming in for a wraparound. Speed already done. Trying to see if we can get these guys killed, getting a really great wraparound. Detonations, pushing them off, saving a few of them, but most of them going down. A little bit of ledge breaker here, but still the surrounds continue, and all of these Reapers sidely completely out of position, and they all go down. Shin! Shin! A master of Zerg versus Terran. I really wish I could see those Clem games, but this is if Shin wins this match, it looks like that might be what's happening. These Lings are already destroying these reactors. ByuN's gonna have to fight for his life, because if he loses this game, he will be out of the match. Sadly, on these... This is another thing about the RNG, is that these wall-offs can be extra exposed to units. They really talk a lot, but so it's just so hard to build your buildings here in a wall-off, because it builds them on the lower side, which leaves them exposed, and they don't have as much HP as the building, so it just makes it a little bit more rough for Terran as well. A little bit unfortunate to have spawned in this position. I think ByuN would have liked to have spawned in this position, actually, in the east position. So let's see. Starport on the way. Reactor on the factory. More barracks also on the way. Shin and ByuN mostly in a similar level of drones, but that's because it looks like we have an all-in on the way. Looking to take advantage of these units, all those Reapers that were lost. Those are fighting units that are not going to be here anymore to help out. Shin saying, you already lost too much. And all that economy lead that I had for all that time, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to start to siege you down. Roaches and Ravagers showing up here, doing exactly what they're great at, which is applying pressure to these Terran positions. So far, just Marines. Siege tank only just now starting. It'll be a bit before anything can be here to really repel these guys, so that's why the SCVs are being pulled. Lots of files coming down. Marines and SCVs fighting for their lives, but Ling's getting the full wraparound on all of these units. It's definitely not enough. 12 already going down, and this looks like it's the killing blow. ByuN taking so much damage. Siege tank finally here, deciding to siege at the top of the ramp. ByuN held him off for a while, but he's lost so many units. Is it enough to really continue to hold the line? Siege tank going down, and very soon we're going to see these Zerg units getting all the way up into their main base, and that's it. GG. ByuN surrenders. A wonderful game, a wonderful series from both players, and Shin really kind of blowing my mind, kind of just sweeping through some of the best Terrans in the world, and that's just blowing my mind. Like when I saw that he beat Clem 2-0, very quick games, and then he got into here, it's like Shin has unlocked some extra ability, and maybe, you know, all of his Zergs can kind of learn from that, and I just thought that that was exceptional, and I wanted to cast the series and figure out exactly like what Shin is doing, right? Because it's just, yeah. Yep. So anyways, you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful time.